messy story involving. Oh wait, hold on. Let me close these first. Let's get into this messy story. Starring the Diddler. So there's a rumor swirling that Jennifer Lopez may need to watch her back because apparently, if the Diddler is gets away with murder. Well, I won't say he really killed anybody, but shout out to, Viola Davis. But if he gets away with everything that he has done in this whole situation, the word on the curb is that he's going to come and retaliate against, for Lopez because he feels like she didn't have his back through this whole trial ordeal. So, according to Radar Online, they said the singer has long severed all contact and ties with the shamed rapper, and that's at the root of the disgusting threats he has slapped her with as he languishes in one of America's most hellhole jails, according to Radar Online. A source close to Combs said he's been saying that she's been disloyal by not coming forward as a character witness for him, and that she is top of his revenge list if he gets out of jail. Quote, he's convinced she has him to thank for her entire career and that she should be showing loyalty to him. Well, if we're going to be honest, don't we have Tommy Mottola to thank for her career? And the fact that he did a lot of sabotaging or attempted sabotaging of Mariah to actually boost Hanifa's career. But he did bring in, Diddy worked on some tracks, Murder Inc. worked on some tracks, and things was going good for a while. And then she even jumped on the whole bandwagon with working with Rich Harrison, who worked with A. Marie. You know what? I love you, A. Marie, but girl, them vocals have not been going where your voice wants them to go because you've been sounding a mess lately. And y'all want to sit out here and blame Beyonce for snatching her career. I'm like, really? Anyway, I love A. Marie, but girl, the vocals ain't doing it. But speaking of vocals that ain't doing it, let's get back to Jennifer Lopez. So, she's had her things where, and of course, what was it, Red One, when she did the dance album with Love Question Mark. I do like that album. There's a lot of cute little bops on it. But I don't know if I necessarily believe this story all the way. I mean, I would not be surprised if Diddy does go on a revenge tour in a lot of situations. I do feel like he needs to pay for a lot of what he's done to a lot of people because he has a sex addiction problem. He doesn't value human beings. He was a vile human being working as a mogul in the music business, allowing his power and money to basically go after people and harm people and destroy careers and stealing people's, residuals and things of that nature. A lot of the artists that was on the Bad Boy label, giving them shitty contracts. They still didn't get what was owed to them. And you were trying to buy their silence, as Aubrey O'Day from Danity Kane. So, she's always been speaking out about it. And so for you to say that she hasn't been disloyal, what actually could she come out and say to defend you? Because after the whole situation that happened during the Shine era where the girl got pow-powed in the nightclub and he did the 10 years, after that, and y'all went to jail and y'all got the mugshot and everything, you and Jennifer Lopez ain't been together. So why would there be some situation of like what part of that trial even had anything to do with what's happening now in regards of the whole situation regarding Cassie and Kid Cudi and the many male prostitutes that you was messing with to tickle your little freak off fantasy? I don't know where that comes in unless you just want her to come on trial on the stage, on the stand and be like, Diddy is a stand-up guy. He never beat me. He never did things to me, which people would be like, okay, girl, just remember you under oath. So you're going to sit up here and tell them lies, them sweet little lies. I need you to be like Miley was good because we don't believe you. And so I don't see where she would even need, I don't know where Jennifer Lopez will fit in this whole trial situation. And we've heard many a times from other blogs where they were talking about, it's a possibility she could be called to the stand because of their past, which I never kind of really believed, but whatever. So they said he's planning revenge on everyone he thinks has wronged him from his personal and professional circle. Well, you wronged a lot of people, sir. So if you're going to go after everybody, I guess that list is long. They said, but the insider also laughed and said, Diddy seems to think he has the upper hand. That's how insane that man ego is. But none of these types of threats are going to make a difference to Jennifer. She's totally done with Diddy and not going to be intimidated by him or anyone else. Yeah, because if there was any opportunity for him to do something, Jennifer Lopez, he would have did that a long time ago when he wasn't even in jail. So that's why I said I'm calling BS on this story. Now, Combs is being held without bail as he faces an array of charges. The allegations, some dating back decades, include allegations of the R word, abuse, and harassment. There's no suggestion Jennifer has any knowledge of the alleged abuse. Well, also, she dated him when they were both at the early stages of their careers. So I don't think she would be aware of any of the stuff that was going on because, yeah, they dated, but I forget how long they dated. They dated like what, maybe a year, possibly 2 years. So, I mean, I'm sure there was cheating going on because Diddy never knew how to close his legs and not have sex with a bunch of other women. But I don't think that she would know any of the stuff that was going on because the freak off stuff didn't really happen in the early aspects of his career. That all came later on. So now, they also said that they dated. Okay, so it said they dated from 1999 to 2001, and they remained in contact for years. But I don't think that she was messing with him sexually. I do feel like they just remained friendly because you already know at that time, Jennifer was playing relationship hopscotch with many a men, whether she was marrying them or dating them. Now, source said Diddy and Jennifer had a meaningful relationship and remained in contact long after it ended. He really thought she'd reach out and show at least some support, even if she wasn't willing to testify for him. Her backing would have carried real weight, especially with her influence in the industry. But she's kept completely quiet, and to Diddy, that feels like an ultimate betrayal. Well, her influence in the industry, first of all, Jennifer was going through her mess anyway. Last year, everybody hated her guts. It's like she couldn't catch like what Katy Perry's going through this year. Jennifer went through last year, where it was just like people was tired of her. People didn't want to be dealing with her shenanigans. They was reading her down to the floor, saying that she can't even keep a man. She is a problem. She's got some type of deep rooted issue she need to work out. She's a nuisance. She's a nightmare to work with. She's rude to the fans or regular people. She don't want nobody looking at her. Like there was a whole bunch of stuff coming out. And then when that video of her declaring her love for Ben Affleck and trying to shout her relationship with the rooftops, which he didn't pretty much like. And I think there was just a lot going on in her relationship with him. She ain't had time to be sitting there thinking about her ex, let alone her dealing with going through her current divorce and raising her children and trying to get her career back on track. She ain't got time to think about the diddler. So it also said that Fox, because I see a Fox in here, Jamie Foxx name. That's why I was like, I messed up. But anyway, let me go back and see what they were saying. And they said Combs is also said to be out to get all the celebs who reveled in his now infamous parties, including Jamie Foxx and Ashton Kutcher, but who have now treated him like he has the plague. Well, quiet as a kept all that sex you was having. You had something. It may not have been a plague, but it was some type of STI. Now, court proceedings have already seen weeks of graphic testimony against the diddler, including allegations he forced women into sex acts at drug-fueled freak-offs, events held off the radar for years and attended by A-listers and sex workers. Now, in one particular disturbing account, a woman claimed the rapper dangled her from a balcony and threatened to unalive her. So they say even though Lopez, also 55, has not publicly commented on the case, she has faced scrutiny from her ex-husband Ohani Noah, who's 50, who accused her in a social media post of attending one of Combs' infamous parties. Now in October, he wrote online about attending the bashes and said, but my ex-wife, Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, did ... ask her. Now, when Miami police raided Combs' mansion, they discovered an arsenal of weapons and drugs, blah, 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 so on and so forth. We already know those details, so we don't need to go into it. But they said in past years, Jennifer spoke favorably about Combs, saying in 2014, he taught me so many things, adding there was still mutual respect and admiration. Yeah, because when she was trying to move and shake through the industry, she knew who she needed to latch on to have the career she needed to have. Between Tommy Mottola helping her out with her career and her being the mascot for trying to sabotage some things with Mariah, which is why Mariah don't know her. Between Diddy and her being in a relationship, he definitely helped move and shake her around and introduce her to the producers, the people she needed to work with in the music industry to keep that career going. And then Mark Anthony. Remember, Mark Anthony wasn't he with Diana Torres at the time when they started messing around? Because remember during the No Me Ames era, that was on the first album. They were friends, but there was rumors going around that them two were being intimate, and I would not be surprised because to me, Jennifer Lopez has always given me that I will wrap my thighs like Xenia on the top on any man in order for me to maintain the career that I need to have. She's always given me that energy about her. So, and now that she's sustained her career where it is, she don't need to do that no more. Maybe she thought she was going to cross over into the A-list by being married to Ben Affleck, but that didn't last long. So, um, I do feel like if I'm more or less focusing on my career and my personal endeavors, I don't have time to be out here trying to defend what you got going on. You on your own, sir. And you didn't think about having other people's back when they were going through their stuff. So why the hell I gotta do that for you? So I do feel like she probably stayed silent just to keep her image intact. And Diddy's name is toxic. So anybody trying to be attached to that man? So I definitely want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story? Do you believe that the I was like, what the hell? Oh, I think it was something I ate earlier. Anyway, do you believe these allegations or this story? I don't know. I'm side eyeing it. It's rated online, so I usually take a lot of the stuff they say with a grain of salt. Although I was like, let's entertain it because it's grist for the mill. So I definitely want to hear from y'all. Do you believe the story, or do you think there might be some truth to the situation? Also, do you think that the diddler is going to get away with it? Because before I forget, and sign off on this topic, almost said toxic. They say in a letter to the U.S. District Judge Aaron Summeranian, prosecutors said they will no longer pursue theories presented during the blockbuster trial, including that the music mogul was involved in attempted arson and kidnapping. So the two alleged acts were initially included in the government's racketeering conspiracy charge against the diddler. All charges against him still remain. So the charges that still alleges the charge alleges that the 55-year-old was involved in transportation for purposes of prostitution, bribery, witness tampering, and drug-related offenses, which I do think that he's guilty of, because I do believe that that there was some trafficking going on, even with Cassie, but you try to mask it off as that's your girlfriend. But to be honest, if you are transporting someone from one state to another for sexual related type of endeavors, that is sex trafficking, whether you agree to it or not. Like if the loophole, I'm sure there's like little loopholes and stuff, but if you really think about it, that is kind of like sex trafficking. So they said the government is no longer planning to proceed on those theories of liability, so instructions are no longer necessary, according which is what prosecutors wrote in the letter. The decision was made as a way to streamline the jury's instructions, which are being discussed in court today between lawyers and the judge. So the arson allegations stem from rapper Kid Cudi's testimony, where he claims that Combs broke into his home after discovering his relationship with Cassie, and they broke into his Porsche. And remember, they said they set a fire to the car on the driveway, which I think they dropped it through the rooftop. And the pictures I saw, it was like, yeah, they basically damaged the seat. So they also said that these allegations were being dropped as there was no standalone charge for them in the first place. So yeah, that's the latest on the Diddy case. I'll definitely keep you guys abreast of that story as it develops, because I believe they're supposed to come up with a verdict this week. I'm like, damn, is 4 weeks up already? Because they did say this trial was going to take about 4 weeks. So I definitely want to hear from y'all what you guys think of this story and the charges and all that other stuff. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.